Pakistan's deepening terror crisis is once again under the global spotlight. A deadly attack on a Rangers headquarters in Karachi, followed by Pakistani airstrikes inside Afghanistan, has exposed the worsening security situation in the country. Even as Islamabad attempted to shift blame onto India, New Delhi dismissed the allegations and reminded Pakistan that the real threat lies within its own borders. The latest developments have once again revived the phrase often used for Pakistan's terror policy. The chickens have come home to roost. Here's the report.
Pakistan's long-standing policy of nurturing and tolerating terrorist networks appears to be backfiring once again. Karachi, Pakistan's financial capital, witnessed one of its most significant terrorist attacks in recent years after heavily armed terrorists rammed an explosives-laden vehicle into the Sindh Rangers headquarters in Gulistan-e-Johar before launching a gun assault. The attack left at least 3 Rangers' personnel dead and several others injured. Security forces later killed the attackers during a clearance operation. The assault has been claimed by Jamaat-ul-Ahrar, a faction linked to the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, underlining how Pakistan now finds itself under attack from terrorist groups that emerged from the same ecosystem of jihadist networks it once cultivated for strategic objectives. Recent years have seen a sharp rise in attacks targeting Pakistan's military, police and security installations, particularly after Taliban returned to power in Afghanistan in 2021.
हम बैठे हुए थे घर पे तो चाय वगैरह पी रहे थे तो ज़ोरदार धमाके की आवाज़ आई पहले ना मतलब बिल्कुल हमारे वो लकड़ी की सीढ़ी है वो भी तकरीबन अपनी जगह से हिल गई है तो मैं बेटे को देखने आ गया अमूमन बच्चे खेल रहे होते हैं तो देखा तो भाई गेट पर ना तो ज़्यादा ही हालात ख़राब थे एक रेंजर से टवाड़ हो गया तो इतनी शदीद किस्म की फायरिंग स्टार्ट हुई थी इतनी शदीद किस्म की फायरिंग स्टार्ट हुई थी मैं खुद भी डर गया था फिर बच्चा मिला बच्चे को घर लेकर गया फिर वापसी में आए यहाँ पर छुप छुप के देख रहे थे तो तकरीबन 2-3 धमाके अंदर और हुए फिर मौके पर रेंजर्स भी पहुँच गई अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह तो अभी सुनने में आया है कि तकरीबन सारे ही जहन्नुम हासिल हो गए.
The Karachi attack has once again exposed the fragility of Pakistan's internal security. For years, Islamabad projected itself as a victim of terrorism while simultaneously facing international criticism for allowing terror groups to operate from its soil. Analysts have often described the current wave of violence as the chickens coming home to roost, a consequence of decades of using terrorist proxies as instruments of state policy. Unable to contain the deteriorating security environment at home, Pakistan quickly turned its attention across the border. Within hours of the Karachi attack, Pakistani forces launched air and ground operations inside Afghanistan, claiming they had targeted militant hideouts. But Afghan authorities alleged that the strikes hit civilian areas instead, killing dozens of civilians, including women and children. The latest cross-border escalation has further strained already tense relations between Islamabad and the Taliban administration in Kabul.
په کم 12 بجې ټول خلک بیا ولیو مقصد دا تیاری راغلی په دغه پورې حمله شروع کړه په دا کې ماشومان ښځې زنانه سپین ږیري ټول خو بیا ولیو.
Residents in eastern Afghanistan described scenes of devastation as homes were reduced to rubble overnight. Afghan officials said dozens were killed and more than 100 injured, disputing Pakistan's claim that only militants were targeted.
د 50 کالر نه وخته ده خوست کې د ولدو چې بمبار وکړو چې دا موږ ترخګر مړ کړل ټول بیګناه خلک ماشومان سپینګیري زنانه دای مړ کړل کونړ کې تاسو خپل ولدو چې یعنی ټول زنانه او سپینګیري وړه ماشومان دای مړ کړل او د مکتب محصلین مړ کړل موږ د کرکټ ځوانان مړ کړل نو پاکستان هنن مریض نه ده چې موږ نه ظلم نه کوي موږ نه زیاتای نه کوي.
Amid mounting criticism, Pakistan attempted to deflect attention by making allegations against India over the Karachi attack. New Delhi categorically rejected those claims. Responding to Islamabad's accusations, Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Ranveer Jaiswal said Pakistan should stop pointing fingers and instead dismantle the terror infrastructure operating within its own territory. The latest violence serves as another reminder that Pakistan's greatest security challenge today comes not from external adversaries but from the extremist networks that have increasingly turned their guns inward. For a country that spent decades distinguishing between good and bad militants, the Karachi attack is yet another stark illustration that terrorism eventually consumes those who seek to use it.